you give the unsupervised learning capability to it, and then it's a mix of both, and that is semi-supervised learning. Mostly these three are the major things, and normally these are the major types of machine learning things. When you come to the reinforcement learning focuses on training AI through trial and error. What we do is an AI is given a question, it is asked to answer. If it is simple as this, you have an FAQ. Normally, in many of the sites, you will have an FAQ. But with the FAQ, the problem is that you are limiting your queries to a specified thing. But if you give it to an AI, what AI does is it learns from the FAQ, and with the unanswered questions, it will be able to create a better answer and will be able to give a beautiful answer based on whatever inputs that have been given. So that is known as reinforcement learning. In this, if by mistake during the training process, if it gives you a wrong answer, you say that this answer is wrong, this should have been answered this way. So it becomes a regular and trained reinforced learning. Now coming to that, so there are three things, just you will have to remember: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning out of this slide. When you talk about algorithms, there are thousands of algorithms available in machine learning. I'm listing out the major ones, and that too mostly from supervised learning is given here. Linear regression, we are very much aware, because in our regular studies we would have learnt about linear regression. That's a value based, the value curve increases or decreases based on the value. It puts a best fits straight line between input and output, and you get a predicted value at the specified point of time. Say if you have a number of things happening in a period with reference to a period, you will be able to say that, okay, this is my prediction based on the thing. But we use a linear regression. Along with this, we use a predictive model. There are other predictive models available. With that, you will be able to give a better solution using an AI and ML. Then logistic regression. In this, a probability is assigned to this. What happens is that each message, say example is, earlier I was telling you about how to classify it as a spam or an anti-spam. So in the message, what you give is, if these are the things, the possibility of this is 0.9. Or if the word is too bad or not in the dictionary, which should not be used, you give it as lower probability, 0.1 or 0.2. So that it, at the end of the term, logistic regression combines all the probability values as well as the value that is got through the summation, and gives you a proper value. So that if it is lower, it will reject it as a spam, and if it is higher, it will say that, okay, this is not a spam, it can be considered. These two are the very simple cases, because you will have only yes or no, whether it is a spam or not, whether it is this input will result in that output. Those things, linear regression, logistic regression will be useful. But in our daily life, it is not that. We will have will you train today, should I take an umbrella, yes or no? These are the questions that you may get. So a decision tree is a better option for it. Will I train yes or no? You have two options in the decision tree. Yes for one, no for one. So in the yes, you will have whether it will train heavily or it will be very light. Yes or no. In that, you will need, whether you need an umbrella, yes or no, you can put an answer there. In the case of will it not rain, whether it will be very hot today, if it is very hot, whether you need. This is like a decision tree. You will be able to think of the first entry. There are two entries below it. The two entries is will it rain, will it not rain. Below the two entries, do you need an umbrella? You don't need an umbrella. So out of these, you will have whether you need an umbrella or not, and you will be able to do it. That's a decision tree. The decision tree is for such things, but a pure decision tree will consume lots of space and memory to store in it. There are other means of doing it. That is, we mean clustering. Clustering is another thing, which is, here I'm talking you about KNN. KNN is an algorithm which is used for finding the K nearest neighbor. The expansion is K nearest neighbor. See, when you want to find out, see, you might be using your mobile regularly while typing in WhatsApp. You would have seen that when you type good, GOOD, the next word it will suggest morning. The reason is that when you, whatever you have typed earlier, it learns from it. After type, the next word that you are going to type is morning. Most probably morning, or sometimes there are three options available. If you have typed afternoon, afternoon will be there, or if you type evening, evening will be there. So these are the words which it learns. What it does is it clusters words which are very frequently used in the nearby areas, and what it does is in the cluster it will be able to find out where the next nearest cluster it refers to. In the case which I was telling, if I type good morning, near good there will be other three entries: morning, evening, afternoon, and morning will have a weightage, much more weightage than the afternoon or evening, depending on how you have used. So based on this, it will be able to identify and will be able to predict next possible text. Like in Amazon or Netflix, you go and search something. It uses KNN algorithm and it gives you a proper, relevant methodologies and things that you would be watching on these things. Okay. In the case of Amazon, how does this help? Or in the case of other online merchants, say if you go and purchase bread, the next possible thing that you use is you go for a butter or jam or something like that. So naturally, this learning is taken from the purchase bills that we have made, and they place things very close to it, so that even if you don't have an intention to buy, you will be forced to purchase. That's how you are being forced to purchase unwanted things from markets, even when you don't have an intention to purchase. This the system learns by itself and will be able to give you a. I am, for the sake of information, I have given other more used algorithms: naive Bayes algorithm, random forest algorithm, gradient boosting algorithm, and neural networks. I will not be able to discuss all of them. Maybe neural networks I will be able to cover in the subsequent slides. So in this slide, know that there are lots of algorithms. Depending on your requirement, you may have to use the most relevant algorithms. You have help for doing this. Which algorithm will be better? And for a single work, you will have 2-3 algorithms for using it. You may be able to use this. One second. You will be able to use this based on your requirement. You can use multiple models also for doing it, right? Machine learning workflow. As I was telling you about the machine learning requires a proper step and training methodology to do it. So how do you train a machine to do it? The first point is data collection. The data collection may be from files, whatever files that you have, those files will be the first thing to do. Then it need not be from a static entry. It can be from dynamic entry, like sensors. Say you have a pollution control. Pollution control, you cannot directly enter it. The pollution control sensors will be there. This sensor will feed the data to it, so that this data is collected and passed on to the system for learning the data. Web is another useful source. Many of the generative AI commands are using web as a major thing, and databases. Databases are the key components where we get lots of information about the specific entity, and we will be able to do it. So these data are collected and made to flow into the server, and you cannot directly consume some of these data. The reason is that there will be a junk in the data. So what we do is data pre-processing is required. Whenever you take the data, you have a cleaning step for the data. Say you might be, what we do is we call it as data scrapping. When you do a data scrapping, you will be able to grab lots of information from the various sites. When you are doing it, there will be unwanted information which you remove it. You clean it. Then remove duplicates. There will be you will be doing it from multiple sites, so duplicates have to be removed. There you will not be able to get 100% value of it because it is from some other site. So you will have to fill the missing values. Wherever it is not there, you have to do it. So data processing is the next step. Pre-processing. After pre-processing, what you do is when you are taking a data using a from third party source, you may not be requiring all the data that you require. So what is relevant to you, you filter out those things and take the data. Now, at this stage, you will have a better data for you to train the model. Say, initial stage, you are having data from various sources. These sources may not be in uniform things. When you do the data pre-processing, you would have removed duplicates, you would have removed, cleaned the unwanted data. At the features selection, you would have taken only the relevant data from all these sources with it may be few may be coming from files, few may be coming from web, few may be coming from databases. You correlate all this and make it as a thing and give it to the algorithm for learning this. So at this stage, the algorithm is given a test data to learn it. What we normally do is when we are taking 100 records for training, we take 100 records. After taking 100 records, we take 70 records, train the model. After training the 70 models, what we do is we take the rest of the 30 data. We try to identify this and try to find out what the model gives. So we take this can be 70, 30, 60, 40 or 100, 90, 100, whatever way you want to do it. You give the data to it. 70 data goes into it. It is trained on what should be the output. After training, evaluation, you take the rest of the data, evaluate, and then retrain the model if required. If the model is able to give you a better output, you continue with this. If it is not able to give you a better output, you take another 100 data, train it. So this is a iterative process. Once you get that the model is better, you put it into the deployment. That is how many of the Chat GPT, Gemini, Copilot, all of them are giving it to you free. The reason is that it was on a testing phase in the initial stages. In the initial stage, it was completely free because they tested it. Once you give the inputs, you will be able to find out that this is useless, this is giving a region-specific input. They fine-tuned it, and then now they put a charging model. So that is how it is. It grows over a period of time. It cannot mature on a date. That is what we may have to learn from the ML methodology. We've seen AI, we've seen ML. Now we are coming into the deep learning. So deep learning is again an ML, which is slightly more complex than ML, which uses neural networks to process a large amount of data. The reason is that our brain, this neural network is the term taken from our biology. Neural network is how our network works in the brain. That's how it has been replicated into the system. When we see some images, you can see that as soon as you see an image, you will be able to identify what it is, you will be able to tell, and you will be able to convert it into a natural language and tell that, oh, yeah, it is raining now, it's hot outside. All this can be done because our network senses it and gives it as a reflex to various parts of the body to do it. So this is being replicated in our deep learning system. As I said, this is total overall what is AI, what is ML, and what is deep learning is depicted here in this picture. Deep learning is a coherent part of machine learning, but it is the one which gives you a better and complex algorithms to learn and dissipate things to whatever you require. Machine learning is slightly simpler to use for our regular applications where we are using in like our room cleaner and other things that we use, Siri, Alexa, all these uses machine learning. It doesn't require deep learning technology. And artificial intelligence is an overall layer which encompasses both of them and gives you an excellent output that you will be able to use this. So this picture is very important for you to understand what layer gives you what level of flexibility in learning and making your AI deliver to the needs of the users. Now, as I said, what is a neural network? Our brain is completely connected using neurons. Many layers are connected to it to process the data. See, each neuron is powered, triggered by the previous layer. So if you ask me a question, what is this? The question goes into the first layer. It asks, what is this? The question immediately the next layer contains details of various questions relevant to it. It identifies where it is, and it goes and finds out. Okay, this is my regular thing. It gives you that. Okay, this is the answer. So it doesn't give you immediately an answer. It tries to find out from the next layer whether something relevant to it is there. If it is there in the next layer, it tries to get the data from the next layer and gives you a better output to it. So it is not a single layer, multiple layers are there. For each question, it may travel different types of layers. It may be single layer, it can be two layer, it can be n layer. It is a multi-layer in case of our brain, and there is an output layer. When it comes to give an output at that point of time, what this output layer does is it does a processing. From various layers, it would have got multiple outputs. So it checks from these multiple layers whatever outputs have been given and gives the best output that matches your query. So that filtering is done by an output layer. All this is done by a neural network in our brain. The same system is replicated into our deep learning logic algorithms. And example for use case is this handwriting recognition. See, we are very good at writing the handwriting recognition of any person, including doctors who write. We'll be able to an extent, do it. Facial recognitions and speech to text. All of these are done automatically by us. But in the case of a system, we have to train how it comes because it varies from person to person, and we may have to train this deep learning neural things to the system. Once we are training, as many of the as told earlier, you will have to when the pattern becomes complex, you have to give them enough data to train it also. So what we do is during a period of time, it gains and gives you a better output over a period of time. This is an example. The picture shows you what is an input layer, what is a hidden layer. It's a multiple layered. So if your query goes into it, it goes into the multiple layers. Say, simple example is, I'll give you an example of the color of banana is yellow. This is the input that I'm giving it. So how you train the model? You train the model this way. It goes into three things are there. Now we have color of the material is banana, and yellow is the color. So it goes into the model. The model goes into the hidden layers to find out what are the colors, yellow colored things. So it identifies relevant things, and the banana is smooth. Also, I am saying it is smooth. That is one more parameter I am giving. So it goes and finds out what are all the neurons where these matches. It may be able to identify 5 or 6 parameters that matches this criteria. If I give another criteria that it is a fruit, automatically the output layer will be able to identify and give you an output that banana is the output. So this is how the model gets trained in the initial stages. And once it is trained, you show the picture, it will be able to convert that picture into words and then get the output in the required format. So in this way, we will be able to get train the neural network and do it. Okay. Here I would like to stop and tell you, normally for processing neural networks, neural data, you may not be able to do it with our regular systems. You require higher amount of processing this data. So we would have heard of CPU, Central Processing Unit, which we are using in our regular systems. These CPUs will be able to process to an extent, but where in the earlier stages, when we were having pictures, images, and sounds, images processing, we had a GPU, graphic processing unit. You might have heard of this term. You should be aware of this also. GPU is the one which processes much faster than a CPU, and it is designed to process images or sounds or other non-numeric entities which are given to it in a faster and better way. So for better processing, you require a GPU. Without GPU, you may not be able to give a better AI-based servers. So, whether if I don't have a GPU, whether I will not be able to do anything? No. There is still a solution, but still you will have a slower response. You will be able to do it. I will tell you about it in the subsequent sessions. So sorry for the interruption. CPU and GPU, I was telling you because a neural network requires a GPU for better processing. Okay. Neurons, as I said, requires connections also. You will have to link these neurons. So how is it linked? So as I said in the example, banana I said, then fruit I said it is smooth, I said it is yellow. So what we do is, all of this is given a weightage. This weightage is given in the through the connections. So they give the things. If it is complete, say red color, if it is there, it will have a -1 in this as a weightage. All other colors will have a lower weightage or negative weightage. So that only the one with higher weightage will be linked to it, and you will be able to get the, based on the weights and biases, you will be able to determine what are all the things that you should take out of these complex neurons. So it filters out. This filtering is done by the system in a very fast way using the GPU. Now, what happens in the propagation mechanism? The first layer, if it goes, whatever is known to it in the first layer, it filters. If it is not known in the first layer, it automatically says that there is no information and it goes to the second layer. In the second layer, it will be able to identify, get more information, and subsequently over it, once it processes through all the layers, it will be able to get to the last layer, and the last layer will be able to give you the weightage of this. If it is 0, it says there is no matching to it, and if it is nearer to 1, it says the probability of this is banana is very clearly told. So this is how the method weighs over a period. And in this, when it is not able to identify, if you train it subsequently, it learns and then adapts to it, and a new layer forms over it. So this is how a neural network functions into the system, and you, at the end of the day, you will have a better output into this system. So as we were seeing in the last thing, there were 3 layers into it. I'll once again say input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. This hidden layer is the one. Input layer, we know whatever inputs that we give. So input layer can be 1, 2, 3, 4, multiple layers. There is no restrictions on the input layer. The more you give, the better you will get. See, sometimes you would have seen that while you are querying, it says that you cannot give more than this much number of text. When you are giving some text to a GPT, chat GPT, it gives you, you cannot give more than say 2000 characters into it. The reason is that the processor is not designed to take more than a specified amount, because it requires lots of layers to process your, more the data, it requires more layers. So that's the reason that it is restricted. So these layers, the hidden layers, these are known as neurons that transforms the input to the given specific output. The final layer that you see, as I was earlier telling you about the regression models and predictive models, the classification models are there, that classifies and gives you the things. So these 3 layers are divided in such a way that you get the output in a proper way. Okay. Now, having known what is deep learning and what is ML, what is the difference between these two? So whether I call it as a deep learning or whether it is ML. In the case of ML, it uses structured data. So your data should be very properly defined. If it is then it is a machine learning thing. And if your data requires feature engineering, like you say that these are the things that I require, without this, I will not be able to work, then it is a machine learning. You are able to train this with a specified set of data, then it is a machine learning. The examples which are given here is spam detection. In the case of spam detection, you say this is the message, this is the from address, this is the header, these are the contents that are good or bad, and you say that this is 0.5 value. 0.5 means it is not good, it is not bad. 0.1 means it's bad. 0.9 means it's a good thing. So you have a very specified things and you will be able to do it. In the case of deep learning, it works with completely unstructured data. You need not have to pre-train it. You say that like you can go and give it whatever is not trained, still it will be able to give you a 70-80% accurate data for based on whatever input that you have given. It will be able to learn features automatically and needs large data and CPU or GPU power. Without GPU, your deep learning will slow down or you will not have a proper output to it to get a result. The examples are Tesla cars, which we use, ChatGPT, Google Translate, or using Chat. These are now using the deep learning things. Earlier, your Grammarly uses an arrow AI because Grammarly uses initially it was giving a thing, but nowadays it is going into generative AI also. I'll tell about generative AI subsequently. Okay. Till now we have seen what into the basic what is AI, what is ML. Say when you say AI and ML, before going this, I like to tell we've been very confident of working with relational databases because that is the bread and butter of any computer scientist, and we've been using it till date. We have not heard of the vector database till date. So that in the case of relational databases, what happens is that it is a simple divided into rows and columns. And you have a specified, if it is a type is numeric, you will have numeric. If it's a text, you will have a text. It's all predefined and you will be able to use it. But in our machine learning, you will not be able to happily remain only with a basic database. You need something more to do it. The reason is that there are restrictions in the query that you use. Normally, what we use is we use an SQL to get the data from the relational databases. But an SQL has a limitation of joining with multiple things, and your query becomes very slow, and you will not be able to deliver the output. So, what is the vector database? A vector database is a special database which will handle very high data in a very convenient way. So it stores data not in the specified form. Say if I say I have to say hello, are you keeping good? If this is the text to be stored into the database, you get store it into the database. It gets stored into the ASCII in a regular database. You will be able to see this. But in the case of a vector database, it doesn't store as a hello, are you good? It is not stored. It is stored as some numbers. So, what are these numbers? I'll tell you about how these numbers are converted. That is known as embedding. Subsequent slides, I will be tell what is an embedding. So, this stores this as a number. At this point, I'll also tell you. Say, when you go and ask for ChatGPT, what is how many are the letter R are there in a strawberry, or how many letter are there in a blueberry? These questions, if you ask, the ChatGPT was giving a wrong reply. This was pointed out, and they have now corrected that because it doesn't store strawberry as strawberry. Strawberry is stored as 98, 52, 36 as a chunk of some other value which you will not be able to identify. This is converted into some embedded, that is called as embedding. This is embedded as some other number and stored into the system for retrieval at a later stage. We will go through it subsequently. Most of the applications that use geospatial analysis, like you would be using uh, Google Maps, that uses this vector database so that you get an immediate output when you are going onto the streets, you will be able to find out. Okay, when you talk about databases, the databases that comes to our mind is Oracle, then SQL Server. Then in the case of open source, you say MySQL, PostgreSQL. Okay, in the case of vector databases, there are a few databases available. Chroma is a one which is very frequently used. It's an open source vector database. Face is a database created by Facebook. Facebook has a separate database created by Facebook, and they use this for searching of various parameters across the Facebook users. Okay, sir, I have a database. I want to use this database as well as I want to use vectorize some of the data so that I'll be able to mix and match these so that I'll be able to deliver something for my ML application. So what I suggest is that PostgreSQL as an extension for PG Vector, known as PG Vector. You'll be able to download it. PostgreSQL is a free and open source database. You can install PostgreSQL. You can use PG Vector as a extension. Use this, and you'll be able to use this both as a SQL thing, and you can embed your data. You'll be able to use this for regular ML queries also. So you have, if you talk about vector database, you'll be able to have either an exclusive vector database if your requirement is too heavy, or if you want to use your regular database, within this you want to use, say you want to get from your database how many employees are retiring this month. This you want to give it as a feature to the user. You don't want to put an SQL query. You can now create one application, a small application. You should be able to do it in 2-3 days time. If you have a slight knowledge of Python, you should be able to do it because codes are available, and with the ChatGPT you should be able to do it. You type out these questions and you should be able to connect your database, get the outputs in the way you want it. You can use a ChromaDB for it, or you can use your PG Vector and PostgreSQL for doing it. This is possible. This may not require lots of time. This is very easily doable. Vector database capabilities. I'll tell you about what is this efficient similarity search, high dimensional data, machine learning and AI, real-time applications such as fraud detection, spatial and geographic database, and multilingual search. These are the capabilities of the version database. Like if you say about a relational database, the thing that you tell in the relational database is you'll be able to search immediately. Any keyword that you give, you will be able to do it. In the case of efficient similarity search, what the advantage is that it will be able to do a similarity of what is there. It may not be exactly matching. You'll be able to do it. A simple example is you have a project report prepared. This project report you want to give it in a, you have prepared it, you have not aligned it properly. You want index to be created, you want the flow to be proper. You can give it to a vector database. You will be able to read the whole thing, use it properly, and give you a alignment of how it should be presented so that you will be able to do it. As I said, high dimensional data. This dimension comes when it comes to a vector database. When you store it in the vector database, normally if you store 1K of data in a relational database, you may require 10K of data for a vector database. That's approximate. It may vary depending on how you train and what amount of data you train. So your storage will be 10x more than this, but that is also being reduced using some other logic. I'll come to it when I come it in the subsequent stages. So I'll explain it about, we have a model. I have given this. I'll explain it to you how it is being reduced in the subsequent stages. You would have seen some of the things like I've been using HDFC Bank. Many of you who use SBI Bank also will do it. You go and purchase something that, say you pay for a jewelry shop, 1,25,000 rupees suddenly. You will get immediately a call, automated call from the system saying that, sir, there is you are making an expenditure of 1.25 lakhs. This is against your normal expenditure. Would you like to approve it? Press 1 to approve, press 0 to disapprove. This is done through a vector database capable application. So whatever your things are monitored immediately, the system takes this and then compares with your data and then gives you a thing. And multilingual search, there is nothing as good as a vector database for doing it. You give it in one language, you can get it in multiple languages in no time. Okay, we have seen about database. I have seen about what is A, what is ML, what languages and I should use, whether I should start using it from the beginning. The most best fit language for this is Python. So if I know Python, I should be able to use it. The reason that Python has grown is that Python has got thousands of libraries for you to make your life easier to do it. You can By library, I mean it gives you a facility. Say, I was telling you initially, I show you picture, you take the picture and develop it. You need not have to do anything. There is a library called OpenCV. Take that library, you will be able to do the Python thing. If you know Python, you should be able to do it in with the help of ChatGPT. In a day or two, you should be able to identify something. See, this application was developed by us in NIC also. When the dustbins were cleared by in our corporations, they were clearing the dustbins. After the dustbins are cleared, the supervisor comes and takes a photograph of the dustbin. Once he takes the photograph of the dustbin, the photograph goes to the server. We use the OpenCV database, whether the dustbin is fully cleared, whether dustbin is half cleared, whether dustbin is empty. All these are being captured. It compares with the data that is trained and it gives the information that these are the dustbins that are not clear, these are dustbins that are clear. That information goes and it flags if it is not, if the dustbin is full. So this application was given to the GCC. So with this, they were able to send a smaller vehicle to collect the inputs. So such applications can be easily developed with the help of these libraries. So I've listed down some of them: TensorFlow, PyTorch, Pandas, and NumPy for data handling and calculations. You have scientific calculations to be done, you can use Pandas or NumPy. Similarly, if I have to run this, how do I do this, sir? I don't have a GPU, I don't have a CPU. Use a Google Colab is there. You get used to it. Free is there, paid is there. For the purpose of learning, you get some free amount of time. You'll be able to use it. Jupyter notebooks are there. The Jupyter notebooks is like you'll be able to do it in a VS Studio Code. A Visual Studio Code similar to it, you have this. So you will be able to do it. Kaggle is a data set plus Kaggle is one thing. Like when you want to do it, you have the data sets for it. So you want to do a explore something like rain data plus weather data. This data is available as a data set for you to practice. So you can use this as a practice, then take your data and do it in your system subsequently. So you have languages. The only thing that you may have to know is Python. And if you know any other language, learning Python is also easy. It is not difficult. So learn Python if you have not done it till date. From here I'll go to some of the use cases that we have been using it in our regular things. Healthcare, madam was telling that we should use it in healthcare to a larger extent. Niramai is the healthcare site. You can just go and check the niramai.com website, where breast cancer was found out to be the most killing in the case of women, most in the case of rural and urban areas. So Niramai has developed a non-invasive breast cancer screening application where it will be able to tell whether the patient is having it, what stage it is, how to do it, and they have also done curative mechanisms with very limited things, and it is available at Maharashtra for our thing. So this is being done on a pilot thing, and it will be replicated across the country very soon. Similarly, there is a site called cure.ai. While telling about it, I will also like to tell a recent one doctor has said. I was doing the X-ray analysis, and while doing the X-ray analysis, whatever I have not found, AI was able to tell me that this malfunction is there in this X-ray, so this treatment has to be given. So, and I have a vast majority of 35 years of experience. Whatever I am not, I lose my job. It is not losing a job. It aids him in finding out additional details, and he'll be able to give a better treatment to the patient than not knowing it if it has been done by him. So these additional things helps in identifying the problems at the early stage and then monitoring and the patient continuously and giving him a best care in this. There are lots of other examples. Due to limitation of time, I have limited it to two things. In the case of business and government, as I already said, SBI, HDFC, always used for fraud detection, credit scoring. Your credit scoring is done using the AI. If you have a higher credit scoring, that means your AI has been doing it properly for you. In the case of retail, Flipkart and Amazon India, you know that recommendation engines, you purchase something, immediately you get a relevant thing forcing you to purchase it. That's a thing. Smart cities. I have a slide on this also. Waste management, I was telling how dustbins are monitored. Facial recognition is done in smart cities. Say you will be able to find out who has done this with the help of face monitoring. Even in Tamil Nadu, the our crime department has been using the face detection for various things. Now they are into the AI based thing for doing this. In the case of agriculture, there are lots of users in AI. Village agriculturist will not be able to find out. He just goes to the, say if it is a cotton, there is some disease in the cotton leaves. So he goes and takes a photograph of it, and after taking the photograph, he sends it to this. This application has been developed in Tamil Nadu. He sends a photograph. The system will be able to tell that this crop, it identifies what crop it is. It says this is a cotton. This has been identified with white pest, and the solution for this is this. This is in this stage. At this stage, you will have to give this amount of medicines or whatever suggestions of watering or thing. All this it gives, and it gives him a reply immediately for him. So with this, he'll be able to have broad plant saved very quickly without going out of his place. These are some of the examples in the government. There are lots of other activities going on. Even in the recent war, you would have seen this. I don't want to tell. There is a slide on it also. IndiaAI.gov.in is a portal for India, where I would urge every one of you to go. They are the one who recommend the legality framework, how it should be done, what are the various activities that are being done in various activities in the government, and they will still help you in the longer run to be in line with the government requirements. Now, being in an academic thing, if I don't mention in research and academia, I'd be failing in this. So in IITs and IIScs, it is being very heavily used in material science. Material science is a language thing. Say where in nuclear things, you need to find out materials that can withstand that much of temperature. You will not be able to do it in the regular labs. So AI and ML helps you to simulate all these things and gets you the thing, gets you the proper reply within this before you go and do it in the practical environment. Similarly, language processing, it gives you an excellent thing in the energy grids. Energy grid sometimes failed. In one of the country recently, one of the energy grid failed. That is because somebody had attacked it through this. So using AIML, you will be able to find out whether an attack is there, and you will be able to preempt it and then get it done. Similarly, in multidisciplinary projects combining AI with environmental studies, medicine, and behavioral sciences, AI is not only restricted only to one department. It is not earlier computers were restricted mostly to the IT department. Now it is a multidisciplinary project combining with all the things, including medicine, behavioral science, environment, everything gets into it, and students are able to get an excellent usage based on this research and academy, and there are lots of free tools available in this. From India, I would like to take a case study. Our railways uses preemptive maintenance using ML. Say they have a predictive maintenance. What they do is they get the data from all these machines when it's taken to the station, the maintenance stations. The information goes to the server. The server finds out based on the various parameters that have been run and gives you that this product is likely to fail, and they immediately give this things. So AI powered surveillance is in place, and they will be able to give that mission. And one of the largest and most run network is the Indian Railways, and they've been doing it with this predictive maintenance. Delhi police uses facial recognition. In the recent large crowd that gathered, they had used AI for our thing, and they have been able to do it. They are now in the railway station. There was a mishap. There also now crowd management monitoring is being planned using the police facial recognition system. So railway stations, there was a massive death, and that could be avoided if this has been done. Now they are in the process of doing it. Judiciary is one of the main big that has started using the AI. You can see that natural language processing is being used to summarize judgments, and the judges don't rely exclusively on AI. They take this as an input, then they apply their human brains, and then take a decision based on what has been given and what is available outside. So this gives an idea of use of AI from various sources and things. The recent Indo-Pakistan war was a success because of the AI in Indian defense. What our Indian people have done it, our Indian satellites were gathering data. They used the AI to find out all the resources, critical resources that they wanted across the Pakistan, which is away from us, and they were able to get this done with to the precision using the satellite images and machine learning for individual attacks. So this was one of the very good tool that they have been using. Nowadays they use robots to get this steered to this. Say there is somewhere you may have to go and attack. If a person goes, you would have seen number of movies where a person goes, he gets struck or get hurt, and we lose something. So these are being done with the help of AI, and once the AI goes, it will be able to identify the, because it need not have to physically go into the room to find out whether anyone is there. Other machine or any other gun which is available, and it will be able to act immediately and give an excellent reply immediately. As the government, you would have seen cyber security applications. The most number of cyber attacks were happening in India during this Indo-Pakistan war. In the Indo-Pakistan war, the number of attacks where they say that it is 1,05,000 times more than what it was there, and almost all of them are 99.9% was blocked with the cyber security applications that we were having, and this was very well appreciated by our PM as well as the Minister of MeitY also. I have given a link. This link I may not be able to open it here. I am sharing this PPT with your team also. You will be able to subsequently have it. If it is available, earlier it was available. If it is available, you will be able to get this NDTV's report on Army's AI strategy. Earlier it was available. I don't know whether it will be available forever. But there are lots of other materials available on the YouTube on how they have used AI in defense. Okay. We've been talking about large language models and what is it, generative AI and other things. So what is large language model? From here, I'll be able to take for another 15 minutes, most probably. I'm in slide 25 or 42. So hopefully I'll be able to quickly complete this, and we'll have a question answer session subsequent to this. Large language model is to train the ML model, to train it in a way they understand in a human language way, and then give it to you the output in the natural language model. What are the applications of LLM? There are a number of applications which you can see: text classification, sentiment analysis, summarization, transformation, translation. All these are this. You give a PDF file, you will be able to get the question and answer. You have lots of open source PDF tools available now. You just go and give your PDF. It will give you the summary of it in a minutes without waiting for it. You will be able to read the summary. You give a video to a co-pilot cider. You have an AI cider. You install it. The AI cider will be able to tell you the summary of it with the references. It's available from 38 seconds to 42 seconds. This is available. This is the highlight. So it saves you time and things. What is text classification? You have prepared some report. You, while preparing this report, you might have missed some inputs, or you might have wrongly put these things. Like I was preparing this PPT. Some of the PPTs were misaligned. I gave it to a LLM model. It gave me that this will be an ideal way to present it. So I got it recorrected and then made it in a presentable way. Similarly, text generation and completion is one of these. All these, your LLM, large language model, helps it. There are a number of large language models available. They are available either paid or free. You can use free model. You can download these models, use it to enhance it to your requirement also, subsequent to your use. Okay. Earlier we were having LLMs also. Now you have an LLM. What is the difference? Earlier, there were LLMs were there, but it was restricted because of the capability of the servers and the CPUs and GPUs. Now, the recent LLMs are most advanced, and we will be able to have a better large language models than what we were having in the earlier days. Now, the modern LLMs, which are available for download, I have given some few LLMs also in the subsequent slides, which we can download and use it in your local machines to learn or make it further fine-tuned to your requirement. Okay. Now we have been using in the regular language. You would have heard about what is an API. In the API, it is we use it as a web service, get the data, you get it processed. But in the case of ML, an API will not be able to suffice your requirement. The reason being that the API gives you an output only as a JSON output. With a JSON, you will not be able to do a 100% ML based requirement. So AI agents comes into pictures. You develop an application, you give it to an agent. This agent is similar to your API, but it is not API. It is a better API, which will give you an output in the way that you can use it in your regular applications and give you a presentable way, in the way that you want it in the human readable format. That is an AI agent. Hope I am clear. I'll repeat it again. AI agent is an AI based application. The output of this will be given to another agent or to another AI application, where you can interpret this application in a human readable form. That is AI agent. So if you have an AI agent was ruling it till now, even today it is ruling, but there are other new things that are also coming up. AI agent, with the AI agent, say you will be able to take, for example, analogy for teachers. You want to do some research. It reads the papers. It also takes down notes. It gives you answers, questions. All of this it gives you in minutes, but it is restricted to a specified thing. So you write an agent. It gives you some specific requirement to your requirement. There can be multiple agents put together. So when you prepare multiple agents and make it to interact, you will be able to give a better output with various agents doing multiple activities. So your agent will be focused on one activity, the other agent will be focused on other. You give the input to multiple agents and then take the output. I'll now stick on to agentic AI, use cases of agentic AI. Self-driving cars, they are an example of an agentic AI, where it takes the input from various place sources. Like it takes input from the roads. It would have a predefined learning algorithm which has also been fed. That is also a part of it. It learns from the road whether a bump is there, what is to be done, and then If someone is crossing, what is to be done? All of this, it learns from this and gives you an output, and automatically it drives the car. So it uses agentic AI, and multiple things are required, because you have to see get inputs from the vision, you get inputs from the road, you get inputs from the backside. All of these are processed and gives you the thing, and it handles repetitive tasks very easily, and personalized learning is also done. Now, I have given some models of agentic AI. Simple reflex agent, which is very, very basic. Simple reflex agent is, you go to a door, the door opens. That's a simple reflex agent. The camera identifies some object is coming, it opens. It doesn't think, it gives that. Model based reflex agent. In this model based reflex agent is a vacuum cleaner. In your house, you may have a vacuum cleaner. This vacuum cleaner has a role. It identifies how your house is mapped. That map is stored into this, and based on this, it goes and identifies and cleans your thing. That is a model based reflex agent. You have a goal based agents. What are goal based agents? It meets a specific need. Your Google Map. Your Google Map is a goal-based agent. You want to travel from one location to another. It gives you, your goal is to reach that place. So it identifies what are the best possible methods. What are all the places where you have a problem. What are the alternate routes if you have a problem. All these are goal-based, and these are taken care of the Google Maps. Utility based agent, autonomous car, learning agent. Autonomous car is a utility based agent where it learns from various sources, and it gives you a utility of moving from one place to another place. Utility based agent will also use the goal based agent. It is inclusive. Learning agent, Netflix learns from what you browse, and based on this, it gives you recommends what is required for you to view the next thing, and it gives you a relevant content. Multi agents is a smart city traffic which is being used in Pune and Bangalore, where it gets input from multiple agents and then processes it. There are certain restrictions in the multi agent that is being replaced with the other new things that are coming up. Sorry. Okay. Now I would like to introduce one more term into it. When you are using AI, what you normally would have seen is, sometimes in the ChatGPT also you would have given a query. You would have got a reply saying that which may not be relevant to what you have given. What is that called? That is known as hallucination. Because as we said, there are the what it has been trained is use probability, some neurons, something goes and gives you some output. The result may not be relevant to what you had asked. So what is that? That's a lack of a regular AI. So a new concept had come, which is a retrieval augmented generation. The reason for this is that the hallucination that I told you becomes very minimal or nil when you have this retrieval augmented generation. That is first. The second thing is, it is more focused. The output will be very accurate to a greater extent. So, what is retrieval augmented generation? Or how is it going to help me? The retrieval augment generated is, you have a knowledge base. You have documents, articles, FAQs, all of images, all of this. You have it in your regular database in your system. What you do is, you train your system, AI agent, with the data that you have. Using this RAG, what it does is, it takes the input from this, whatever query you process, you give it to it. Say, earlier I have given you a query. Who are all the teachers who are retiring this month? This is the query you pass. So you have given the data to it, the database of employees, the date of retirement, all of this you are giving it to the thing. And you say that 60 is the age of retirement. What this does is this database goes into a database, finds out people who are likely to retire in the next 6 months, gets this data, it gives you a beautiful output, passes on this data to another model, to a large language model like ChatGPT, gives you a verbatim compatible good thing. In this, as I said, a verbatim compatible, you can say that I want it in the ascending order of people who are retiring, and all this you can add. And this ChatGPT takes this input, gives you a proper, reliable output. This is retrieval augmented generation. Hope I am clear. I'll repeat it once again. Retrieval augmented generation is nothing but it takes the inputs from your database, a relevant input it takes from the keywords that you have given. It takes the relevant inputs, passes on to another large language model, and gives you an output relevant to you in the form that you require. You can say that I want it in a tabular form, I want it in a uh, visual form. All those you can put it and it will be able to give you. If you say that I want it in a visual form, it will take photos, it will take people giving it to it. This is retrieval augmented generation. This has been a very, very successful model and has been used in many of the new things. What are the advantages of a RAG model? There are various advantages. It has got an improved accuracy. It has got an up-to-date information because you are giving the input to it. It goes through this, filters out the required data and improves upon it, and you get an excellent, cost-efficient, transparent, and trustworthy database. No hallucinations in the case of RAG. That's the advantage of an RAG model. RAG is one of the very good, successful thing. You will have to get knowledge about it when you have time subsequently. Okay. The recent development, this is one of the very recent development, which we call it as Model Context Protocol in AI. MCP is a communication protocol. See, as I was telling earlier, AI agents were individually working on it. The MCP is a new protocol which has been developed, which helps in integrating these multiple agents into one. That is the advantage of a MCP. So when you have multiple systems, AI agents in your hand, you will be able to very simply integrate with this protocol and you will have an excellent AI component in your hand with lots of improved assistance. The advantage of this is, I will tell you one good advantage. Say you go and now want to prepare some material for you. You go and get it from ChatGPT. Then you go and get it from, say, Copilot. Then you go and get it from Claude. These three will be different. Now, if you have to do the integration, you will again have to do a repetitive task of get the best point from it and give me a better thing, which will be time consuming. But with the model context protocol, this job is done by you for the things. It consults multiple LLMs and gives you a better output than giving you a unrelevant data. So MCP is the order of the day. There could be something which will be coming up in the new thing, and this will give you a better thing. So scalability is also very high in the case of MCP, and it will also be able to give you the relevance of where it has taken the cases. Okay. So future of AI is model context protocol. When you have to have a very large systems, model context protocol will be the best thing that will be you will be using it in the thing. So before AI, this architecture diagram will be able to give you. You will have a unique AI doing it. Now, all of these are giving a model context protocol server exclusively. Google is giving a model context protocol server. You just register to it, you use this, it will make your life as simple as that. Even in the case of previous thing, if one agent fails, you will not be able to get a reply. In this case, there is no such concept of failure. It will always be available. Even if one fails, it will be able to get from other agents and give you satisfy the requirement. Okay. I was telling you in the beginning, before the start of the session, that by the end of the session, if you spare 1.5 hours to 2 hours, you will be able to create a application on your own. This is this I have used on my own. I have not been into programming for the last 2-3 years because I was more into the administrative line, but still with very limited exposure, I was able to run an application. Really, you should be able to do it because you are onto the service. You should be able to do it. It requires the simple thing is Olama is a tool that has been created for you to run large language models like LLMs. You need not own a very big computer to do it. You can use it in your laptop or desktop. It is very lightweight. You can install Olama, search for it, Google for it. I've given the steps in the next slide. You should be able to do it. And I insist that each one of you participating in this, please try once. It is not very difficult. You don't need to know programming. At least at only one point, you may have to change the model that you are using. Nothing more than that. You'll be able to give a excellent program. You will be able to experience it, that you are able to see that you are able to run a large language model. That experience you can have it once you do it. This is how it's happening. To run Olama, go to Olama's installer from olama.com. Run the installer as an administrator. Wait for the installation to finish. It's a smooth Windows installation like any other installation. Open a terminal application such as command or PowerShell. I suggest you should use the PowerShell as a command as an administrator. Type Olama run and you download a model name also. I'll tell you. It's all self-explanatory with the link that is given. You should be able to do it. You don't require a GPU in your machine. You don't require an NVIDIA. You don't require a thing. It will run on your local laptop or desktop also. So how do I believe it? How do I run it, sir? This is the desktop or laptop requirement for Olama. I was telling you earlier that these models uses neurons and other things. Normally, these models are available for download. You can download it. Recently, DeepSeek, you might have heard of DeepSeek LLM. DeepSeek LLM has released their models in the free downloadable models. This DeepSeek model, it is available for download. This is available as DeepSeek underscore 7B, DeepSeek underscore 8B, DeepSeek underscore 70B. These are models which are available for download and use. 7B is a 7 billion model. It can process 7 billion parameters at a time. 13B is 13 billion models. 70B is 70 billion models. You can go to the earlier reference that I have given. You will be able to download whatever model that is given here. For running a 7B model, you require minimum 8 GB, but recommended is 16 GB. If you have a 16 GB, you can download a 7 GB model. If you have a 8 GB, you have a lower end model, 3B model is there. The more the size of the model, you will have a better predictions and better outputs of what you are going to do it. In the case of 13B models, you require 32 GB, and in the case of large language model, you require 128 GB. This, in addition to it, I will also recommend something. See, sometimes AI models are given to the students to do it. A student will not be able to afford a 128 GB laptop to do this. What we can do it, we can hire a model in the cloud for with 64 GB or 32 GB by paying a nominal amount of 5,000, 10,000 rupees. You can use it for a month. Use your data set. Complete demonstration can be done using this hired model, and this can be used for your for the students practicals and your PhD thesis, whatever you want to do it. You'll be able to do it at a very low cost. Okay, one of my sincere request is that after this you please take the slides. This is very rudimentary. Anybody will be able to do it. The prerequisites is that you should be having a VS Code in your machine. You should have installed a Python into it, and you should have linked this Python in your VS Code. And I promise within 1.5 hours you should be able to run a AI model with whatever links that I have given. And teaching. What are the best things to do in teaching? Being a teacher, you would have used lots of tools, but I have given few of them. Google Teachable Machine. I tried Google Teachable Machine. It gives an excellent way of how teaching can be done using a Google Teachable Machine. ChatGPT, which we have been using very regularly. Canva AI. with Canva AI, with very good presentations and images, you will be able to do it. And AI-based projects you should be able to assign to the students. The one problem with thing is the students will also use this AI and do it. You encourage them to use AI, but insist that they should use their brain to add value to it and give it. That will get a better thing is you can organize faculty discussions like such as what's one way you can imagine using AI in your department, what how you can improve your things in the delivery in your department. This you can use it in your department, and I have given you some books for reading it. This is also I have taken from ChatGPT and given it to you. I will not spend time on it. You have tools for detecting AI generated student work. You might be aware of it, and given some of them GPT0.me or 0GPT is the one which gives you identify whether it is done to it. Now, as I promised, another 5-10 minutes I give it to you for question answer. Thank you for patient listening. I know it is difficult in the afternoon hours, but however, I have tried to not to sleep during this session. Thank you.
Sir, Srinivasan sir, thank you so much, sir. It was an excellent presentation. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, dear participants, Sir has told many things about AI and ML, misconceptions about AI and ML models, types of ML models, key algorithms in ML, K-means clustering, machine learning workflow. I'll just highlighted the some points only, but Sir has told many things. So deep learning versus traditional machine learning, vector database, languages and libraries, AI in business and government, LLM models, AI agents, retrieval augmented generations, and so on. So, sir, really it was a wonderful session, and hope all the participants get benefited from this. So you can ask questions or post your questions in chat box. Admin, kindly allow the participants to post in chat box.
If no questions are asked, I will ask questions.
That is nice, sir. Just 2 minutes, sir. 2 minutes. Hello, Srinivas, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, they raised in question and answer session, sir. Which
Okay.
AI model we can use for effective mango leaf disease detection?
What?
Which AI model we can use for effective mango leaf disease detection?
OpenCV is a model which can be used for identifying the type of leaves, and then there are other predictive models which are available also. I don't remember the exact name. One second, give me a second, or I'll have to Google and find out. These are available in the Google. Say if you want to say that I want to find out, you will be able to get the model name and you can use that. I have in the slide also I have put that, but I have lost track of it now. So one is OpenCV to identify the image first, and then the trained model has to be given to another model to find out what type of thing is, and then give it.
Okay, sir. Another one, please share the PPT. Okay, we will share you. No, they are asking for your PPT, sir.
I've
That
already shared you, madam. You can
yes,
share it
sir.
with
We will.
everybody.
That we will take care, sir. We
Yes,
will
ma'am.
share to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very
As
much
I
for.
said, this is a bigger one, and raising doubts is difficult. But most of the doubts, even if I am not able to answer, I go to ChatGPT and get the answers. So most of the doubts are available in the thing. That should not be an issue. Yes, I'm ready, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Could you please explain more about Google Teachable Mission?
Yeah, I'll tell you about Google Teachable Mission. Google Teachable Mission is available on the cloud. You will have to get registered to it if you want to use it. What you do is, say you are taking some class. You want to train the model that this is when you are taking classes. You want to show that you are the person who is taking class. When you are not there, you want to train. You give them the material. You want to take the classes. So you have to train this as a video. What it does is you give the material to it. You train some class with a say. I want to do it as a training in two ways. One is with a mask. One is without a mask. So with a mask, you just record a video saying that whatever positions you move, all this it gets recorded. Then when you give another thing without a mask, you can record it, do it. Then you can ask the give some other content, ask it to take the class. It will take your image, it will put it with a mask or without a mask, all this it will be able to identify, and it will you need not be present. You just give the text, it will take a class as if you are there. That is how Google Class. It is available. You should be able to Google it and find out, and it gives you a excellent. It's in the initial stages, but tomorrow your face need not be there. It will be like you will be able to take a class as even if you are not there. And if you have built an agent to answer the queries, then it will also answer queries on your behalf. So it will make life simpler for the teachers to handle classes very easily.
Next
You can
question.
just Google as Google Class on Classables, and you will be able to get this.
So next question, sir. What are all the challenges commonly facing while implementing AI ML models in projects?
The first thing is, as I said, the training is the most important thing. When you are doing this, training phase is the one where you train the model. Say, I will tell you a simple example. Sometimes you go to a FAQ or something, chat GPT comes up, or some agent comes up and what do you want? You will not be able to get a proper reply on it. The reason is that it has not been properly trained. So training is the most important thing that you may have to do it. When you are doing a project, whenever you give it to some 5-10 people, ask them to test the model. They will give an input. Okay, this is giving me a wrong input. This is not coming. This is absolutely irrelevant. All these things comes. When you get such irrelevant things, then you may have to retrain this model with whatever they have asked. You can either say that this is not known to me as a proper reply. You can train that also. This is out of my scope. I don't know. So all these you may have to train. Unless otherwise you train that, you will not be able to do it. So this training is the thing. As I said, 70% of the test data is for training the model, 30% is for evaluating it. This evaluation is the most critical part. And once you evaluate it, you will get a better model. And over a period, on day one, you will not get a better model. Over a period of a week or 10 days, you will have to train this on the regular basis. And over a week or 10 days, it becomes a trained model. As I earlier said, ChatGPT did the same thing. All others did the same thing. They opened it, they made it, make you to use it. Based on it, they retrained it and then made up better versions.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Which model is best for disease prediction? I think you already answered for that, sir, right?
Yeah, OpenCV.
Yeah, OpenCV. Next. How can I identify which model is suitable for which data? Or can we go with trial and error?
No, there are multiple models available. It requires a good question also.
Yeah.
There are lots of algorithms available. As I said, Say, if you want to have a prediction of what is likely to come, prediction, there are multiple things available. For next word prediction, say you want to think n-gram is the model, one model which is available. Similar models are available. You can do what you can do is, depending on what you require as an output, you can select the models. You have this model, each model will have a definite output of what it will do, what it will not do. Say it will have a probability of 0.8% relating to this. So based on this, you can take the model and then do it. So it is probability based, and what your output requirement is this. Based on this, you can do 2 or 3 models. It is easier to replace the models and learn also. Say you have developed 2 3 things, you can replace one model with the other model and then try this. It is not very difficult, and you can choose the best 3 things out of it. Or the other one is, with AI agents you can have 2 3 models, select the relevant models, make this with 2 3 models, and combine all this and give an output also with the MCP that is now coming up. Good question, and hope I have answered to it.
Yes, sir. Next one, which models can I use for pragmatic analysis in NLP?
NLP, there are large number of models available, madam. I will once again go to this slides I have. For this, you can use TensorFlow and PyTorch. This is given in my languages and libraries slide.
Okay, sir.
If you are handling mathematical models, NumPy and Pandas are the models. All these are available. You can query this ChatGPT, get this result. You will be able to get this model for it. It will suggest 4 5. You can try all the 4 models. You can choose the best one that meets your requirement.
So the last question, sir.
Yeah.
What are good AI agents for teaching?
For teaching, I have to find out, madam. I'll get back to it on this.
Okay, sir. Okay.
I have
Okay.
not because that was my last thing. So I will find out what models are best for teaching. I'll text it to you about.
Okay, okay, sir. Fine, sir. So I think that's all the questions, sir. So, sir, on behalf of Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Dr. MGR Education Research Institute, and myself, the organizer, and Dr. Sujita, so another organizer, we thank you so much for your wonderful presentation, and readily accepted the invitation which we have given, and really, we are wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. In fact, I also made lots of preparations because of this and learned the MCP model was the latest one which we've been trying out in our lab for doing it. So you gave us an opportunity to do it, and I bombarded with lots of technical terms. Sorry for it because technical terms you may have to be aware of it, and sorry for bombarding with lots of technical terms in it.
No, no, sir. No, no, sir. It's great for us to know. We, even as an organizer, we learned a lot of things along with the participants. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You can leave the meet, sir. Thank you
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So, dear participants, feedback link is posted in the Zoom platform. So it will be live for another 15 minutes. Okay. So it will not be posted in the WhatsApp group. For your kind information, it will not be posted in the WhatsApp group. It will be, it will be available only in this Zoom link. Okay. And thank you all. Thank you for your participation. And once again, we'll meet tomorrow in our day two. The speaker we are going to have Mr. G. Olivannan, Senior Vice President, TANCAM, and Sir is going to present on the topic AI shaping our education and the future is now. So this is the topic. So thank you once again, and we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.